Wuji standing posture. Facing forward with the neck upright, lighten the neck and raise the energy to the top. Tuck in the chin slightly. Raise the tongue to the roof of the mouth and upper teeth. Close the mouth and gently clench the teeth. Empty the chest and solidify the stomach. Loosen the waist and tuck in the buttocks. Straighten up the spine. Sink the shoulder and drop the elbows. Loosen the wrists and open up the fingers. Loosen the hips and round the crotch. The whole body is relaxed and centered. Both the mind and body are tranquil. Think about Dantian, gaze at Dantian, and listen to Dantian. Gradually, you will reach the Wuji state of the world and I in non-existence. In this state, stand for a while. Use the eyes and mind to lead the hands to induce the qi to rise up. Induce the natural Hunyuan qi to enter into the body through Xinggong on top of the head and go down from top to the bottom gradually along the legs until the qi reaches Yongquan. When lowering the qi, imagine that the natural Hunyuan qi and the internal Hunyuan qi are combining into one, then showering through the body inside and out. The body feels relaxed and comfortable. This exercise is practiced according to upper dantian, middle dantian, and lower dantian. Upper dantian gathering qi. The eyes and mind lead the hands to gather the qi from heaven and earth. The gathered qi enters from Zuqiao and lowers down to middle dantian. The mind is carrying the qi of heaven and earth into the body through the upper dantian, which is Zuqiao. The qi combines with the Yuan Shen, original soul, and goes down to the middle dantian. This way, the after heaven qi and the early heaven qi mix and become one. On the way, the qi goes down to the dantian. The mind should be thinking about the qi's path, gazing at the qi and listening to the qi. Middle dantian gathering qi. Eyes and mind intent lead the hands to gather the qi from the earth and heaven. Qi goes to dantian directly through the navel. Pause the hands at the dantian before continuing on. Breathe naturally. Your dantian is like a reservoir. It gathers but does not leak. The qi from earth and heaven will mix with your original qi in the dantian, becoming one. Lower dantian gathering qi. Eyes and mind intent will lead the hands to gather and raise the qi from below to the lower dantian. The qi goes from Huiyin, slightly tucked in, to Weilu, then to Mingmen, then to dantian. Pause for a moment before repeating. Another method is to channel the qi directly from the front to dantian. Women should gather the qi and enter into the body through the uterus and then to Mingmen, then to middle dantian. This exercise is used to gather the qi to balance yin and yang and to move the qi to the outer extremities. Imagine there's a qi ball in between the two Lao Gong. Eyes and the mind intent will lead the qi to turn the hands 18 times positively and then 18 times negatively. While turning the ball between the hands, imagine there is a ball in the dantian. Use mind intent to combine the ball between the hands and the one in the dantian. They first turn together in a coordinated fashion, and then they become one huge ball. This exercise is used to train the resonating of internal power. Before performing upper, middle, and lower exercises, the mind intent must focus and stay on Lao Gong for a while until Lao Gong feels warm. Let the mind intent control the opening and closing of the hands. The whole body becomes one. This includes body, mind, dantian, eyes, spirit, Hunyuan Qi. When open, all opens. When closed, all closes. The center is in the dantian. When opening, start from dantian and go outwards. When closing, start from outside and close to dantian. Open and close must come naturally from mind intent. Open and close come naturally. The qi flows naturally in you. This exercise is used to massage the heart and lungs. Heart is the head of the 3 yang, and lungs are the head of the 3 yin. When heart and lungs are balanced, the tai he yuan qi will rise. Eyes and mind intent lead the qi from both hands to mix with the tai he yuan qi. Inside and outside becomes one entity. They turn together and move the qi to go around the body to massage the heart and the lungs. When finished, the middle finger of each hand travels downwards along the Ren meridian 3 times. This is an exercise used to train the Zhou-Tian Hunyuan circle. Positive circular extension and contraction. Eyes and mind intent lead the qi and hands to move along the rear leg to go up from the Du meridian, then down from the Ren meridian. This will connect the heaven and earth. Repeat 9 times. Negative circular extension and contraction. Eyes and mind intent lead the qi and hands to move along the Ren meridian from front leg to the front of the body, up and then down to the Du meridian. This will connect the earth and heaven. This exercise is used to open up the channels in the lower limbs. According to the basic theory of yin rises and yang sinks, this exercise is called reversed yin-yang positions. Use the mind intent to move the qi up and down. This is a major method for the training of lower dantian. When raising the qi moves from Hui Yin, which is lower dantian, to middle dantian, Hui Yin, lightly push upwards. When the qi reaches the dantian, pause so that the qi covers all of the dantian. When the qi sinks down to yongquan, the qi should also pour through the bottom of the whole foot. One should turn the waist, sink and open the qua, and step solidly on the ground. When rising, one should experience the reaction of the ground to the foot and how the jin starts from the foot. One should carefully observe how the waist changes weight distribution and moves accordingly. This is also a method for nurturing and opening the meridians of the lower limbs. The mind intent starts from the dantian and descends down to the yongquan points along the outside of the legs of the Zu San Yang meridian, which is foot 3 yang meridian, then move up along the Zu San Yin meridian, foot 3 yin meridian, on the inside of the legs to the Hui Yin point, return to the middle dantian, pause, and then continue the cycle again. This exercise is used to practice the belt meridian, to push the qi through the belt meridian and then to the dantian. This exercise is divided into small grinding and large grinding. The mind intent focuses on the middle dantian. The middle dantian is the center, the dai mai is the inner circle, and the hands are the outer circles. Eye and mind intent lead the hands to turn. The whole body must turn as one unit. The turning must be circular, slowly and fluidly. The small grinding should reach 180 degrees and the large one 360 degrees. The qi circle starts at the dai mai and then spreads to the hand circle. It's desired that the qi circle will gradually expand to leg and qua, chest, back, shoulders, elbows, and causing the whole body to be surrounded by qi circles. This exercise trains to resonate the early heaven qi and Hunyuan qi together. In doing so, the 5 centers will return to 1. The 5 centers are the center of head, the centers of hands, the centers of feet. Use the middle dantian as the center of focus. The eyes and mind intent will lead the qi to spread out from dantian. Mind intent and qi together will lead the hands to open. This is called opening the dantian. The mind intent and qi will come into the dantian from the outside. This is called closing the dantian. Close from the 5 centers to the middle of the dantian. The opening and closing in this fashion will gradually increase the qi flow in the body. When opening, imagine that the hands are opening the heaven. When closing, imagine that the hands are closing a hole in the earth. This is what is called heaven and earth open and close. This practice will gradually induce the formation of a Hunyuan qi circle by forming an interaction between heaven, earth, and men. This is a technique to collect the fresh qi in the atmosphere to the dantian. The collecting of qi is accomplished through 1. Thinking about collecting qi, 2. Watching the qi being collected, and 3. Listening to the qi being collected.